introduce to you our next outstanding woman, Heather Hans from Schenectady. And they say that, time is one of the most valuable things in life. And you just give time to volunteering all throughout the Capital Region, Heather. I mean, especially you're spearheading so much for the American Cancer Society.
And then you're involved with a lot of other organizations too. Is that just something that's been ingrained in you? Have you always had that volunteerism spirit?
Absolutely. And you nailed it on the head. It's about not having the money. It's giving the time. Like, I wish I could donate $20,000 to anybody, to move it. And not everybody has that money. So donating that time really gives you that sense of satisfaction.
Absolutely. And they need that just as much.
Oh, yeah.
Just as much, I should say.
I think it's more satisfying. I've donated a lot of money to a lot of charities too over time. $20 here, $20 there. I'm a sucker for it. But at the same time, when you can see somebody's face of the actual change that you're making in that exact moment, it's a really big deal.
Amazing.
And with the American Cancer Society, that pertains to Relay for Life walks and also doing much more with them as well, right?
Absolutely. American Cancer Society to me is a fun one to donate my time to, because there's so many different opportunities, from doing events and actual in-person, like the walks you mentioned. There's a chicken winging competition.
Yeah.
You can volunteer to drive people to appointments if you have extra time during the day.
That's wonderful.
It's just such an all-inclusive organization with different ways to volunteer, but for the same cause.
Love that. What are some of the other organizations that you're involved with?
Oh my gosh, a list. So Military Courtesy Room in the airport is a really one that I really like to do. It's kind of like those USOs, but we don't have one at Albany, so It's on the outside of it. And it's basically sitting there and just being a voice for our military members to talk to on their way out or on their way back. We give them food. There's an Xbox. There's a DVD player. There's just a relaxing section that they deserve. They've earned.
Yeah.
I really like that one. Habitat for Humanity, the Food Pantry, South End Children's Cafe.
What's that?
So that is in downtown Albany, and it's kind of like a food pantry, but it's in a much smaller version.
Wait a second. Is that with one of our other outstanding women?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
She was the one that was actually teaching the children.
Yes.
She's a retired teacher.
Yes.
Who helped out at the South End.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you probably know another one of the outstanding women.
I can't wait to be around that.
That's awesome.
They have an outdoor food pantry that started during COVID, which was really great. And I don't know if you guys have seen like those free libraries, right? Like people have that look like birdhouses in the front houses, right?
Yep.
That's another one of our outstanding women.
Yes, it is.
Heather
knows everybody because she's got her hand in every single organization.
I try. I did a lot of shopping there. And you could just come up and bring stuff and just put them in there for people to go. And watching people, they kind of figured out when people were coming.
Yeah.
Like they knew like the schedule almost.
Yeah.
And they would come with their shopping bags, just coming to get one bag of mashed potatoes, like trying to leave everything else for other people that they knew need it. And it's just like, well, can you take 12 of them? I'll bring more, I promise. Like take whatever you need.
Right. You almost had to encourage them.
Yes.
To take more. Wow. That's kind of amazing.
And a lot of people are bringing those up. There's one on Ontario Street in Cohoes. It's just somebody's house. They just like built one.
Okay. So you got to know where they are.
You got to know where they are. So if you find them, like it's really easy to get $1 extra can at Walmart and drop it off.
Yeah.
Right? Like it doesn't. It's not
kind of add it to your list.
And you don't have to do these big, huge efforts. Like those are great and they're wonderful, and I'm so glad we have them. But you don't have to.
You think about sprinkling your care and your time throughout your life, throughout your day or your week, and you kind of piece it all together.
Absolutely, that is exactly it. Writing letters to our service members, or writing. We do cards in my family for the senior citizens homes, and we just drop them off. They're not to people. It's just
I love that.
You have nothing going on a Tuesday night. Spend 10 minutes and write out a card that just says somebody's thinking about you. It really,
and it's teaching your family, like, think of others. You've got this little time. We could take our time away from electronics and things like that, and just taking that a little bit of time is going to do wonders and exponentially for somebody else.
I think the word privileged means such different things to different people, and I don't think how privileged we don't understand how privileged we really are. Privileged is knowing that you're gonna have dinner tonight, and like a lot of times we associate privilege with millions of dollars and owning businesses and all sorts of things. And Toys for Tots is one of my favorite ones during Christmas, and I've done the Toys for Tot train. Oh, I'm gonna tear up. One of
Aw.
my favorite memories is a 6-year-old coming up to me. I was handing them a toy. I think it was a Barbie doll, and she came right back at me and said, "Can I give this back to you if I can just get a pair of gloves? I'll give you the toy
Oh my
back."
gosh.
And to have that, and they meant
know.
it with it
Yeah.
wasn't their parents, it was them. It was just a true, actual,
you're gonna make me cry.
right? It really hits you in a different kind of way. And that word privilege to me means something very different than I think it means to a lot of people.
Basic human needs
just be
are
humans.
right.
Yes.
Exactly. Your basic human needs are totally met is what privilege is basically what you're
Absolutely.
saying, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
because if this kid just wanted gloves, then what else is out there that we could probably take care of and help in little bits and pieces instead of doing, like you said, one major community dump.
Right.
You could just actually do things
One
spread
person
out.
at a time. Yeah.
These organizations that need it.
That's my jam.
I love that.
Love
Oh
it.
my God, Heather, you are really, really something else. And I
thank
think that
you.
you're going to inspire a lot of people listening to this and kind of hand that down because you're making me think of the things that I should be doing with my kids. And you know what? Or you see it along the way. Like you said, just if you see one of those pantries,
Just do it.
just do it. Make it part
You
of your.
probably have something in your car.
I probably do.
You probably do.
I
I've
have
probably got many
everything
things
in
in
my
the
car. I
But
do.
I think we all do, and those kids at school, I don't think people know that at the schools, more than 20% at even the most affluent schools, have backpack programs because kids don't have meals.
Not
at
all
home.
kids
Right.
do. It's not an equal distribution of wealth in a lot of communities. And it sounds to me, doing these type of things, you have learned a lot about
Where
people
we
in
live.
need. Yeah.
And where we live and the level of need. It's not just people that have housing issues and lost their jobs and have lived in their car before, which I think we all envision sometimes when we think of people in need. It's not, there's some people that just they've been sick for 3 weeks and could just really use somebody to write them a card. There's just such.
There's nothing like a personal message.
Exactly.
The time to take to write something out is definitely so meaningful to so many.
I've just said to one of my biggest things this year, 2023, the last physical year has been, I just want humans to be human. Just be human to each other. Why did that kindergarten rule go away of treat people the way you want to be treated? And it doesn't have to be these big giant things.
Gesture.
Just
It can be
nice.
simple things helping
Just
each
be
other.
nice. Change somebody's day by holding the door open for them and not being a jerk because they cut you in line and they didn't mean it. Assume the best in people first.
Okay. I
Have
love
that first and just go along your day that way.
Not only do we appreciate the time that you give, but also the words that you've said. It's been inspiring. So putting the highlight on you today is the least we can do.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
so much, Heather.
Thank you
Really.
for having me. This really means a lot to me, and I really am grateful to be here.
Well, you mean a lot to the Capital Region. That's why you're one of the 20 outstanding women. So hear more from Heather Hans and the work that she does at B95.com.
20 outstanding women with Hannaford Supermarkets and B95.5.